Hey there. You know, I haven't been getting a lot of hate mail on YouTube lately. I kind of miss it. So you know what that means? It's time to tackle another controversial subject. And today's subject will be, is homosexuality natural? That's something I've been seeing a lot in my comments, and a lot of debate goes on in my comments. So before I tackle this, I want to talk about debates in general. One thing I find that happens a lot in debates is that one common technique is that a person will make a statement which most people believe is true, but that statement won't really be relevant to the larger argument. Now, if you're debating against someone who does that, the last thing you should do is try to refute that person's statement. Because first of all, if it's mostly true, if you try to refute it in any way, you're going to kind of look stupid, and more importantly, you're kind of taking the focus off the main point. What you should do in a case like that is you should just acknowledge that what the person said is basically true and say, well, so what else you got? And try to show them, how what they said isn't really relevant to the larger argument. In that way, you disarm them and you get back to the main point. You take away their strong point that way. The reason I bring that up is that I see that technique used a lot by people who are arguing that homosexuality is wrong, and they'll say something like, well, homosexuality isn't natural. Well, if you're arguing on the other side, which is what I'm about to do, the last thing you should do is say, wait, no, it is natural. There are animals that are gay, and people are born gay. Look, I believe people that are gay are born gay, and I do believe there's evidence that there are animals that are gay. However, if someone presents me with the argument, homosexuality is unnatural, my response is basically going to be, yeah. Because from a pure evolutionary scientific standpoint, they're actually right about that. Most people that believe in gay rights do believe in evolution. You think about evolution, every animal that's walked the earth basically is designed to be heterosexual. Every animal, including man, because, if they were homosexual, if that was the natural state, well, we wouldn't be standing here. That's what evolution depends on. So, from a pure evolutionary perspective, all animals, including human beings, are designed to be heterosexual. We've got eyes to see, we've got ears to hear, and we've got naughty bits to do naughty things, which, from an evolutionary standpoint, are being done to create other people, to propagate the species. That is the most basic answer to the question, why are we here? We're here because people were doing it, and people are going to do it, and that's how the species happens, And so you acknowledge that fact, say, yes, it's unnatural, and the next thing you need to say is, so, what's the big deal? I think we'd all agree that the human body is designed to see. Seeing, we would think, is natural. And yet, there are people that are born without the ability to see. And no one has any problem with that. No one tries to say that blind people are wrong or are doing something wrong. And why is that? Well, it's because most people can clearly see that blindness is an inborn trait and it is a physical trait. Now, the argument I would like to make is that I believe that homosexuality and bisexuality and sexual orientation in general is a physical trait. It's not a psychological trait. Anyone who believes that homosexuality is a choice must believe it's a psychological trait. I believe it's physical. I believe it's physical as sexual orientation is as physical as height or hair color or skin color or how tall or how short you are. It's an unchanging physical trait. It's something you're born with. Now, science does not have complete evidence of that, but they're moving in that direction. I'm going to link to a video which, gives some of the early evidence of that, but what I'm saying is someday we're all going to feel really silly, when it becomes very clear through brain scans or whatever else they do that, folks that are gay and bisexual have brain wiring which is physically different from straight people. I think it's inevitable that's going to be the case. And if that is the case, and I believe it is the case, then I believe that telling gay people that they chose to be gay and that they can change is as ridiculous as telling a blind person that they chose to be blind. If they really, really wanted to, they could see. It's not going to happen. That's not how they were designed. That's not how they were born. It's an inborn thing. And as I said, I believe sexual orientation is completely inborn. Now, I know some people are going to come back and say, hey, look, you have these kind of classes that gay people can take to try to become straight, that convert them to being straight, and look, it works on some people. These people got married. Well, yeah. All right. Yes, you can be physically gay in the brain and live a straight lifestyle and even believe that you are straight. People can convince themselves that they are straight, and they can be convinced by other people that they are straight, even if they are physically gay. That doesn't mean that gayness is not inherently physical. I mean, there are people in insane asylums that are clearly humans born on this earth who have convinced themselves that they are aliens. But they're not aliens. They are physically human. But they think they're aliens, or they think they're Napoleon or whatever. So yeah, if someone is physically, gay or bisexual and they've convinced themselves that they're straight, then they're a little psychologically, messed up. They've convinced themselves to be something that they're not. And it happens all the time. People date in high school and they wind up getting married, and then one day they're like, oh my god, I'm gay. Well, they were always gay. They're physically gay, and through peer pressure, they convinced themselves that they were not gay, and eventually they figure that out. And these people that go to these, gay to straight conversion classes, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of those people eventually relapse, so to speak, because they can't change what they are. They're physically gay. You can't change what you are. I guess that's the main point. Can't change who you are. So people who are gay should just accept that they're born that way and that they're gay, and people should accept them for being gay. I mean, expecting people that are physically gay to live a straight lifestyle is as silly as expecting a 4-foot-tall person to play center on a basketball team, or a 7-foot person to be a jockey. They can't do that. That's not who they are. And, after all, there's nothing more natural than somebody being who they are. In any case, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.